tale. Craft your story right, every ship will sail. From brick and mortar to dreams unveiled. In storytelling and selling, we'll never fail. Roads to success, open with a key. When you're pitching homes or a legacy, listen to the beat, let your mind be free. Marketing magic magnified by 3. Storytelling and selling, where dreams align. Words weave wonders, this stage is mine. Hustle and heart in every single line. For real estate agents and small biz sunshine. From blueprint visions to the grand reveal. In the art of the deal, let's keep it real. Crafting connections, oh the appeal. With every sold home, we spin that wheel. Dial up the charm, let your passion ignite. From the cityscape shimmer to the soft porch light. Say it with flair, make the moment bright. Cause in storytelling and selling, we aim for flight. Storytelling and selling, where dreams align. Words weave wonders, this stage is mine. Hustle and heart in every single line. For real estate agents and small biz sunshine.
Hey, everybody, meet Lisa. Lisa's a real estate pro who's been in the business for over a decade. Now, she's great at face-to-face interactions, and she's closed plenty of deals that way. But here's the thing, when it comes to her online presence, it's like she's stuck in 2015. Her social media posts are either just basic listing details, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom deck, or on her brave days, there's a few facts around the market. Her engagement, well, let's just say it's in a quiet place. Lisa's biggest struggle is figuring out how to share her story in a way that resonates and keeps her at the top of her clients' minds. Now, she's watching other agents use Instagram Reels, doing stories, doing all sorts of things, and even AI to stand out. But it all seems overwhelming for her. So what am I supposed to say? She's thinking, how do I use AI without sounding like a robot? Then there's the time factor. She's a solo act, and she handles the listings, the showings, and every call and email on her own. And the thought of adding Learn AI to her to-do list feels crazy. But what if it wasn't as daunting? What if the results far outweighed the learning curve? Would Lisa be in? Would you be in? Well, today's show is all about how agents like Lisa, and maybe like you, can make that transformation from barely surviving online to thriving with storytelling, collaboration, and AI that actually boost the bottom line. We're going to get jumping with our show. Let's do it.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on in. Storytelling, time to begin with RK3, getting down to biz. Real estate pros and small town winners. Oh, we're telling tales, we're selling dreams. Crafting your stories, cashing in on schemes. In the house of hustle where the jazz beats flow. Storytelling and selling, it's RK3 show.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Storytelling and Selling podcast. This is episode 6. I'm your host, Robert Kennedy III, RK3. That's me, and I'm so glad you're in the space. In case you haven't heard the whole idea of the Storytelling and Selling podcast, it's to support real estate pros and small business professionals in their quest to unlock their sales superpower. I believe that your storytelling power, or your superpower, is rooted in storytelling. So become a better storyteller, become a better seller, right? It's all about connection. And speaking of connection, I want to introduce our sponsor for today. Our sponsor today is Restream. Restream believes in a future where everyone can be creators and follow their dreams. Whether you're a real estate agent, business owner, marketer, event producer, gamer, artist, or nonprofit, Restream makes creating and distributing engaging video content easy. If you want to create professional videos, live stream them on social media platforms, and interact with your audience, Restream is your tool. If video is king, then Restream is your mic that lets you engage with the kingdom. For a chance at winning a professional plan for a year, text Restream to 240-557-8679. All right, let's jump into that segment of the show that I absolutely love. Guess what? We call this Relevant Revelations. So let's jump in with a few quick nuggets about real estate, small biz, tech, and storytelling. So our first real estate nugget is home sales are up. Ooh, but guess what? Home sales are up, but existing home sales in the United States increased by 1.3% in July 2024, reversing a 4-month decline. But sales are still down 2.5% compared to the previous year. And the median sales price went down to $422,600, up 4.2% from the previous year, indicating a more balanced market despite inventory shortages. And this is from RIS Media. All right, let's jump to our second one. TikTok is leaning into communities, y'all. TikTok recently announced the expansion of its subscription feature, allowing more creators to engage deeply with their communities through exclusive content and experiences. The subscription feature offers creators the opportunity to provide their most loyal followers, with special access to premium perks and membership-only experiences. So if you're not checking out TikTok, then you want to head over to that platform so that you can check out how you can get some deeper connections with your community. That's from Small Business Trends. Ooh, this one is huge. Meta unveils Movie Gen. Meta previewed this tool on Friday called Movie Gen that allows you to create videos, edit them automatically, and layer on AI-generated sound for a cohesive video clip. So Movie Gen works with written text prompts, an image, or an existing video as input, and then there's the option to add personal pictures so users can see themselves in the video. And this is from Entrepreneur Magazine. Lastly, AI improves storytelling. Yes, it does, especially when data is involved. So according to searchmyexpert.com, perhaps the most profound impact of AI in storytelling is the potential to create emotionally engaging narratives. And AI does this by analyzing data on human emotions and reactions. Wow. So AI can help you to craft characters and story arcs that resonate more deeply with your audience. So, hey, what are y'all thinking about these relevant revelations? Leave a comment on the YouTube channel and let us know. If you follow the podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify, I'll also share the links for this information in the show note. All right. So let's jump on in with our guest for today. Marki Lemons Ryle was born and raised in the Windy City, Chi-Town, y'all. And she's not just any entrepreneur. She's had entrepreneurship in her family for generations, at least 5 generations that we know of. Since '93, she hasn't just been teaching, she's transformed over 1 million students and helped them successfully navigate entrepreneurship. She started out as a loan originator and opened her first real estate brokerage in 2003. Always the early adopter and pioneer, Marki is one of the first 2 million people, that's a lot of people, to use ChatGPT. And then within 30 days, delivered a keynote speech on ChatGPT because she believes it's the greatest business tool she's ever used in her 4 decades of entrepreneurship. Marki is also the podcast host for Drive with NAR. Hey, y'all, listen, welcome Marki to the show. Hey, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great. You know what? Now I know I look entirely too young to have four 4 decades of entrepreneurship experience, but they put me to work at 10 years old. I asked for one too many pair of designer blue jeans.
Oh
And
yeah.
at the time they were about $40 a piece. And my mother was like, "So you want me to spend $400 on pants alone? Child, you will start working." So I started selling snow cones in front of our barbecue restaurant.
I love it. So you said that, or your bio says that this is 4 generations, or at least four, maybe 5 generations of entrepreneurship. Before the show, we were talking a little bit, and you said that that legacy has been recognized in your town. Tell us a little bit about what's happening with that.
So my family owns Chicago's second oldest black restaurant. This year we
Mhm.
celebrated 70 years of being in business. My
Wow.
grandfather's been inducted into the Barbecue Hall of Fame. And if you're ever on 75th Street on the south side of the city of Chicago, you will notice that it is the honorary James B. Lemons Way named after my grandfather. And so we've sold a lot of pork rib tips up in the city of Chicago.
I love it. I love it. Excellent. Excellent. So listen, we're here talking today. It's been, my gosh, when did Chat GPT come out? It was
November
22?
30th, 2022.
Yeah. Wow. So we're not even 2 years in, and it feels like we've been talking about AI for at least 5 to 6 years. And it's taking over in so many different places. And here's the thing, so many people are freaked out and still nervous about AI. So tell me, when people come to you and you're championing AI, what is the most common fear that you hear?
The most common fear that I hear is they believe that artificial intelligence is going to take over. And I think what's crazy to me about that is the fact that they're not willing to do anything about it. So, do
Mm.
I believe that it has the ability to do some replacement? Yes, but I'm not going to allow it to replace me without a fight.
Wow. Yeah. So we talked in the relevant revelations part about how artificial intelligence, AI, can collect data on people's emotions and begin to start to share content or information in a way that is realistic. You know, storytelling, emotional tells or emotional pulls. So how are you leveraging that? I know you have a couple of Facebook groups at least about that topic. How are you leveraging the newest part of AI to really increase your sales?
Well, I would say the video aspect is the newest part, but that doesn't necessarily make it the most relevant part for people who are in real estate. So
Mhm.
when I'm thinking about artificial intelligence, I'm thinking about a tool called Humantic.ai that tells me the dispersonality of a person I'm doing business with based
Wow.
on their Twitter account, email, or LinkedIn. And for
Mhm.
those of us who've implemented this, there's a couple of brokerages that definitely focus on it. Keller Williams, Exit are some of the bigger franchises that focus on the disc, is that you can now segment your email list and tag people based on their personality, but I don't need them to go and do a whole disc assessment. Based on how they communicate, they're able to tell you with profound accuracy a person's disc, which now allows me to customize my customer relationship management system to you based on your disc.
Wow. Wow. So especially when you're first starting out, how is that beneficial, or how does that help a new real estate agent?
Understanding personalities and that this is not one size fits all. How I sell to people will differentiate based on what their disc is. An example would be, you do not have to butter me up. I actually hate to be buttered up, right?
Right.
Ask me for exactly what it is that you want. If you send me one of those butter up, how's your day going, gorgeous, with this long paragraph, no, I'm serious. I am going to put your communications at the end of the day, because one, I have to read through it to decipher what your ask is,
Right.
where I prefer you just to ask me, right? But there are some people who like to be buttered up. So I tell people my preferred method of communication is email and text message, but I
Mhm.
understand the preferred communication of the people in which I do business with, my bosses, the people who sign the contracts, and I communicate with them in their preferred communication style, even though that's not my preference.
Wow, wow. So let's talk about that from a storytelling standpoint. I talk about storytelling a lot on this show, and storytelling is it hits emotions, right? And
Mhm.
we believe that the connection or the emotion is really what makes that that jive with people, if that's a word that people still use. Uh,
I
so,
use
um,
jive.
so when you talk about disc, or when you talk about really getting somebody's personality down, can I still use emotion? Can I still use storytelling with somebody that may be direct like yourself?
Oh, yes, because let me tell you this, I'm a storyteller, right?
Hmm.
But what actually helps me in telling stories is the fact that I kind of pride myself on being a historian. So I am the
Mm,
person who keeps photos and videos. So when I am telling a story, if I was going to talk about the foreclosure crisis, I have actual articles, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, that I can still pull those snippets in to show you what was happening in 2008. So,
mm,
do I like telling a story? Yes, I love telling stories, but it is generally showing something chronological or
yeah.
what is the true impact to the person, not just to tell a story. So,
Mhm.
when I'm teaching AI, one of the stories I lead with is a picture of my son in a Batman costume. And I ask people, why did they come into real estate? Because a lot of people do not want to change how they do business. And I'm
Right.
talking about, well, hey, real estate, better yet, my superhero transformed how I've done business because I needed to provide for him as his only parent. Okay. And I tell the story of me taking his father off of child support and coming into real estate to feel like a stay at home mom and earning above average income. But the story is relevant to real estate professionals because so many of them came into real estate to earn an above average income, yet have control over their schedule.
Wow. Wow. So you've got this software. You said Humantic is
Mhm.
is um is that software, that AI tool that you use to get people's personalities. Now you understand their personality with AI. Is there a campaign? How do you then take people down this road from introduction to sales using
So
AI?
when one of the ways that I do that is my 189 prompts. And so if they want to increase their productivity, their lead generation, and their income, which I
Mhm.
also demonstrated to them through Grammarly, my customer relationship management system, and QuickBooks and my bookkeeper. So I show the social proof side by side. Once they're in your customer relationship management system, then you want to tag them.
Mm.
And there is a book, Words That Sell, that tell you the
Yeah.
different tones that you should use. So for those who want to go into luxury real estate, there's definitely luxurious terms in which one can use in order to convert the luxury buyer, that they feel that you're talking directly to them about what it is that they're looking to buy. So instead of us having that one generic canned message, we would now have
Yeah.
multiple variations of the same message. And yes, we are leveraging artificial intelligence in order to create our email campaigns. Usually, our campaigns comprise of 8 emails that walk them through that journey.
Wow. Wow. So you said 8 emails. Is there a significance to that? I'm asking because of their, 7-Eleven 4, there are different sales techniques that people have talked about, but you have 8 emails. What's the significance of that?
I would probably say the 8 emails only aligns with the fact that we believe that you are supposed to strategically reach out to 8 people by 8 a.m. A lot of times, if we were to go back to 1999, coming into real estate, it was all about your 8 touches. And
Yeah.
so it's just lining up with 8 touches and our 8 by 8, strategically reaching out to 8 people by 8 a.m. But
Yeah.
let me tell you the significance of that. If you want to earn a six-figure income, a person needs to have 2,880 contacts in their customer relationship management system. If I strategically reach out to 8 people by 8 a.m., I'll actually add 2,920, which can get me to six figures if my average minimum price point is $250,000. I'll close 20 of the 2,880. Let me just say this though. The more strategic you are with your email campaign, the higher your conversion rates can be. So I'm glad that I'm generally focused on six figures in 12 months. I will tell you that my oldest son did six figures in 6 months, but he also had additional follow up emails in his sequence.
Well, you just threw a whole bunch of numbers out just now. I mean, is that something? Is that publicly available? Did you do the math yourself? I mean, where did this come from?
The math came from two different locations. First would be the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and then inside of Exit. So I still profit share at KW, but then I also earn residual income from Exit. So these are numbers inside of their system. The
Mhm.
difference today, though, is because of artificial intelligence, I can tell you exactly how much content you have to put out in order
Wow.
to generate those leads. So we already knew we need to strategically reach out. But now I can tell you if I put out this type of content and this is the value of that content, this is how many leads I will generate.
Wow. So let's talk to the business owners, right? You're
Yes.
saying a whole bunch of stuff and it seems nice and then people start to get overwhelmed like, "Oh my gosh, this seems like a whole lot of work." How do you personally manage these things and still find time to be fabulous?
So I allocate 1 hour per day. It's called your power hour. And
Mhm.
inside of that 1 hour per day, I'm responsible for putting out at least 1 minute of video content. The reason is one video of content is equivalent to 1.8 million words. Okay.
Wow.
That's its true value. When we go back and look at the numbers, for every $100,000 an agent wants to earn, they need to put out the equivalent of 1,066 words of value every single day. Whether that is going to be text, whether that's going to be a picture, one picture's worth 1,000 words. And so I go with the highest value content so that I can always position myself to earn the amount of money I want to earn per my business plan. And 1 minute of video content uh, e- exceeds that, right? Because we're talking about 1.8 million
Yeah.
versus 1,066 for every 100,000 you want to earn. So if I was to go back to my first day in real estate, my first year I earned a little bit over $97,000. At that time, I was bringing in about 8 leads per day, leveraging my automobile being wrapped, bus benches, billboards, and a classified ad in the back of the Sun Times. I don't have any of that today. What I know is that 90% of content consumed is from the palm of the hand.
Mhm.
And because we're in sales and marketing, it's my responsibility to put myself in the palm of the hand of the device no one ever intentionally leaves home without. And the best way to do that is with 1 minute of video content every day.
Yeah. So some people are walking through this and or they're on Instagram and they see the different reels and they see all of the different approaches that people are taking. What if I'm a new agent and I'm still not 100% comfortable with video just
Mhm.
yet? How do you leverage or how do you advise people in that space?
Let me give you an example. My son Skylar, he's 28 years old. So
Mhm.
far, year to date, actually not even year to date, since February the 13th, he has closed $134,000 in gross closed income from selling real estate. Skylar is a Instagram Reels enthusiast. He's right at about 5 million video views in that same period of time. So he
Mhm.
generates one lead per 3,000 video views, which is why he has over 1,300 contacts in his customer relationship management system in the same period of time. If you were to go look at Skylar Lemon's real estate on Instagram and you looked at his 60 videos, you would notice that only five have his face in them. Okay. The
Mm,
rest of it is either behind the scenes or B-roll video footage, but he is consistently putting out content about down payment assistance. So
yeah.
he earned more than actually earned six figures in 6 months. So forget the six figures in 12 months. He earned six figures in 6 months as a 28-year-old with no ad spend off of Instagram and TikTok, where 10%, fewer than 10% of his videos actually has his face in them. Consistency is the key.
Mm,
It
mm.
is consistently, you got to trust the process. And
Yeah.
you you might not be a one-hit wonder, but let me come back to him. He's been a broker for 3 years and he just experienced this success because he just became consistent, right?
Right.
He had figured out how to generate leads, and then he had figured out how to create videos that he can get 10 times more views than he has followers. He had to combine the two. And once he combined the two, last December, December the 19th, actually 2023, was when things changed for his business. Um, and he's on a roll right now.
I love it. So he's on Instagram. Do you have any recommendations for people? Is there a platform that you would say from a social media perspective?
I think
You,
yeah, you need to identify your target audience and you need
yep.
to be where your target audience is, because what I'll say is 2 weeks ago for the Chicago Association of Realtors installation, I am the um, individual highest fundraiser in the history of the Chicago Realtors Foundation.
Hmm.
And it came off of a Facebook Live video. But I understand that Facebook is my jam, right?
Right.
So that's where I created my video content. I'm not even on TikTok because I want to be on the platform where 45 to 54-year-old women are willing to tell me their business in real time for the purpose of me updating my customer relationship management system. So it's not one size fits all. You have to identify. So let me say this before you do anything. You
Yeah.
need to have a business plan. And in your business plan, you need to understand who your target audience is. So you're hanging out where your target audience is.
Yeah. So let's veer back to AI right from that. So you've got this strategic approach for the platform that you're using, how many videos or how much content you're putting out, the time that you spend with that. How can AI help someone create a plan like that so that they can, with consistency, experience results?
Oh, you could go in and definitely allow it to help you curate a 30-day marketing strategy based on your target audience.
Hmm.
But you need to have some data. So before I ever started leveraging AI, I already had a business plan. I already understood who my target audience was. I already had a ton of content. So now I'm able to feed that content into pick a platform. I use Chat GPT, Perplexity,
Yep.
Copilot, and Gemini. But ChatGPT, and I use the paid version, even though I'm focused on the free version, which is the 4.0 version. So what I do, anybody can do, and they can do it for free. Because I have all of this data, I'm able to feed the data back into ChatGPT. It understands my voice, my style, my tone, my target audience, so that it can be very specific to the client. I use the acronym WIIFT, what's in it for them, consistently,
Right.
because it's always about the consumer. How do we make them want to do business with us, right? And
Yeah.
so we're taking years of information, feeding it, and asking for new outputs or to summarize the content that we already have so that we become better every single day.
Yeah, this has been fantastic. We're just about at the end of time here, but I want to say to our audience, if you didn't listen through this, it's one thing to listen to it, but I want you to take the episode wherever you're listening to it and run it through, run it through an AI tool and ask it what are the nuggets or the points that you need to pick out of this if you are looking to grow your business. So make sure that you do it. Where can people get connected with you if they want to get to learn more about AI and how they can utilize the tools to grow their businesses?
Well, the beautiful thing is I am the only Marky Lemons in the world. Therefore, if people spell my name correctly, they will find me YouTube, Facebook,
Yeah,
Instagram, LinkedIn. So MarkiLemons, and I have tons of content.
love it. Love it. Well, I too have tons of content, but I'm not the only Robert Kennedy III in the world. I'm the only one that looks like me, though. How about that?
Ah,
Yeah.
ah.
All right. Well, listen, this has been phenomenal. This episode was not artificial. It was authentically amazing. And people, you don't have to do it all. You certainly don't have to be afraid. And you can decide that you're not going to use available technology and you'll become obsolete quicker than a knife fight in a phone booth. Or you can decide what results you want. Leverage the AI and the technology available to grow your business at speed and become a pioneer in these business streets. This has been a great show. Marki, thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you.
Come join us for the next episode. We do these live, but you can also grab the replays on YouTube, LinkedIn, and of course, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Remember, text podcast to 240-557-8679 to know when we're going live next. Until next time, be stellar, storyteller.
Step into the beat where the deals are made. Arcade threes, mic as sharp as a blade. Pros and biz, come take a ride. In this podcast, dreams collide.
From open house to startup glam, strategy so slick they'll put you on the map. Robert Kennedy's got the formula for turning small dreams into a mega aura. Storytelling, selling it right. Tune in, folks, we'll ignite your night from 9 to 5 or the moonlight.